Hey folks, Rob Daniels here for the movie, TV, and video game soundtrack program Visions in Sound. I can be found every Saturday morning, 12 to 2 a.m. on FM 98.5. And if you missed the show, which, hey, does happen, you can also find me on my website, visionsinsound.ca. Well, welcome to the continuing saga of Visions in Sound as we are dealing with the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. And this week, I'm going to be presenting the poll winner. In a very close margin, on the last day, this episode of the original series won by a very thin margin of like a single vote over its rival, which would have been The Best of Both Worlds. We're talking here about the Doomsday Machine. And this is an episode that, on the surface, is an action-filled episode, but it's something that deals with something a little bit more interesting, and that is the effects of PTSD. Commodore Decker, who is the Commodore or the captain of the USS Constellation, is attacked by a machine, a creature, whatever it is. It looks like a bugle from like the snack bugles. Anyway, don't have them here. And it's one of those things that, again, it deals with the effects of trauma.
Where's your crew?
On the third planet.
There is no third planet.
Don't you think I know that? There was, but not anymore.
And that it, like I said, on the surface, it seems like he's gone crazy. Seems like there's revenge. But no, he is being affected by what happened around him, the only survivor of the Constellation. And he wants revenge, a la Moby Dick, on the Doomsday Machine. And while Kirk is over on the Constellation, Decker takes over command of the Enterprise and essentially goes after the creature, in probably one of the more interesting scenes in the series. And if I can play it, here it is.
Closing fast.
Deflector shields at full power. They can't take much more of this.
Helmsman, hold your course. Stand by all phaser banks.
Aye, aye, sir.
Deflector is holding, but weakening. We must retreat, Commodore. The energy drain...
I'm in command here, Mr. Spock. Maintain your course, Helmsman. Get us in closer.
So yeah, music here is done by Sol Kaplan. Now, Sol Kaplan was part of the group of composers that worked on the series. There was Gerald Fried, there was Alexander Courage, there was a few others, Steiner as well, a bunch of others that worked on the series. But Sol's music here became used in more than one episode, and it comes through in a very interesting way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the opening track and have a listen, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the Doomsday Machine. you go. Kind of a very standard opening. Now, in later years, and this is interesting, the comparisons between Sol's music and John Williams' music for Jaws is undeniable. Have a listen to these tracks and tell me that that's not a little bit of maybe an homage or a little bit of a lift to the music of the Jaws music ends up becoming like a little homage, a nod to the music of Sol Kaplan, almost 10 years prior. The one thing here that they deal with, in a very 60s way, they deal with Decker's PTSD. And it's very interesting. They give him a shot. They try to get him to talk about what he experienced, but it just drives him even more. And then he's William Wyndham, the actor who portrays Commodore Decker, which, by the way, I believe in this case is the father of Will Decker, who shows up in the motion picture. So there's that. So have a listen to a couple more tracks of the music from the Doomsday Machine. Like I said, it paints Commodore Decker in a little bit more sympathetic light than I think a lot of characters that would have been obsessed with certain things. I mean, the music is driving, don't get me wrong, but there are moments of where you're like, you actually feel a little bit of sympathy for Commodore Decker. So yeah, there's some music from the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Star Trek, as we are celebrating its 60th anniversary here. And I'll continue on. I'll put up another poll in another couple of days, and we'll talk about the various things that the various other episodes that I'd like to deal with. I may go with 2-parters. I don't know. You'll notice that on the original poll, I had all the others were 2-parters except the Doomsday Machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the Doomsday Machine is one of those episodes that is hard to deny and hard to forget. So yeah. So take it from me. If you're interested in any of the film, television, or video game music that I do play here on the show, by all means, you can contact me at, of course, visionsinsound@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the show, you can listen to the show every week on FM 98.5. That's every Saturday morning. And if you miss the show, which, like I said, hey, does happen, you can also find me on my website, visionsinsound.ca. You can try me on not just on Good Pods, but you can find me on Blue Sky these days at visionsinsound.bsky.social. You can also find me on Good Pods, a downloadable app for your phone or other type devices, and I can be found on many of the other podcatchers out there, including the likes of Apple Music. Now, we notice that Commodore Decker goes through some pretty heavy stuff, and that's where the world seems to be hitting right now. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on right now. So if you're having problems, by all means, please call 911 for immediate help. Dial or text 988 for the Suicide Crisis Helpline. You can try 1-844-HERE-247 and HERE247.ca. They all offer ways of getting help if you or someone you know may be suffering from mental health issues. Well, that's all for me this time. And folks, get out there and listen to some great scores, to some fantastic scores, because there are some composers out there that are worthy of your time. So have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Live long and prosper.
It's gaining on us, sir.
Take evasive action, Mr. Sulu.
I told you I am in command here, and I will give the orders, Captain. We are going to turn and attack.
Not with my ship, you don't. Mr. Spock, relieve Commodore Decker immediately. That's a direct order.
You can't relieve me, and you know it. According to regulations...
Blast regulations. Mr. Spock, I order you to assume command on my personal authority as captain of the Enterprise.
Commodore Decker, you are relieved of command.
I don't recognize your authority to relieve me.
You may file a formal protest with Starfleet Command, assuming we survive to reach Astora Base. But you are relieved. Commodore, I do not wish to place you under arrest.
You wouldn't dare. You're bluffing.
Vulcans never bluff.
No. No, I don't suppose that they do. Very well, Mr. Spock. The bridge is yours.